Hi, so today I'll actually be going over a collection of short stories by Cixin Liu. The book is called To Hold Up the Sky. So it's actually the first time they've been put together. These short stories predated his Three-Body Problem trilogy, which I think you should definitely check out if you haven't gotten the chance. But if you don't want to read, it is actually going to be turned into a Netflix series, which should be coming out allegedly in 1 to 2 years, depending on production, really. And so what I really like about these collection short stories, it gives you the feeling of how he started his writing style and how it evolved into that trilogy. And so in the forward, Cixin Liu really covers his overall goal in his stories, and just, I guess, human goals is that he really believes that there's relationship to humanity and the universe, and that he works really hard to imagine all the sorts of possibilities in that relationship between people and the universe. And it really resonated with me because I think for someone who wants to read these books, it's a really good way to sort of just detach from the day-to-day and stop thinking about what's happening in the current world and structure, and just think bigger picture of humanity and what can be achieved if the collective work together. So I think it just drives the overall point that he wants to make, is that we're just stronger and better as people working together rather than separate entities. But realistically, there's always a lot of conflict. There's always a lot of egos you have to help out with. You have to, massage here and there. And one of the short stories that I really liked from this is called Contraption. It's translated by John Chu. He did a really good job because it's very difficult to translate, obviously, from any language, from Spanish to English, from Japanese to Chinese, whatever. But he did a good job because the story focuses on a special agent who is tasked with finding corruption in the local branches of the Chinese government. He does, a spoiler alert, but there's some conflict there because other people don't want him to find the corruption, because when he finds the corruption, it's still tied and ingrained to everything else that they do day to day, company wise, money wise. When you take that apart, you also take the livelihood of other people apart. So then the question is, do we take out corruption and also, in effect, delimitate other people's day-to-day? So if you prosecute the person who is taking side money from someone else, then the person working at the factory, after it shuts down, where do they go to make their ends meet? And so you have to outweigh, the pros and cons. Do we continue the corruption and let people still have a minimum wage and a livelihood? Or do we take out the corruption, but then we also take out what people can make from that job, which is, the money, which they can use to buy food, which they can use to buy clothing, which propels the economy. So there's a lot happening just in that story, just one little story. It's about maybe like 20 or 30 pages, so I'm just really astounded that he managed to do all that in a short story. So again, check it out. I think he's a really noteworthy author. He's really great, and I can't wait to read some of his other collections or other stories when they come out. But definitely, subscribe, click the subscribe button wherever it is on here, and leave a comment. I'm always open. Leave some recommendations for other books you might think would be good for me to go over, again, for people of color. So again, To Hold Up the Sky. Definitely check it out. Bye.